live in one take. All right, so I'm sitting on a little rolly stool because I want to try to shoot this live in one take. I'm on the tripod here, and I need to switch back and forth between me and the screen. So let's get on with it. So one of the more popular modifications to a 3406E/C15 is to put the 800 horsepower marine cam in. And I figured it's about time to go ahead and do a back-to-back comparison. So about 5 days ago, I did that and just haven't had a chance to get it up on video. So let me jump right in here. I'm gonna go to the other direction here. So we're gonna start off with, and I'll try to elaborate. So here's the 800 cam is in, looks like black, I guess. All right, you know what, guys? I apologize. I'm going to fix this right now. We still have a chance to keep this live, but I got to get my colors right because otherwise it's a pain in the neck. Let me get my blues and let me get my green and my orange. All right, those are good for doing comparison. All right, so let's get right into it. So here's our horsepower. Engine power with the 800 cam, or torque, should say, maxed out 3,029 foot-pounds at 1,707 RPM. The stock 2WS cam maxed out at 3,015 foot-pounds, so basically the same. The horsepower is even closer. Let me go ahead and just let me take the torque out of here, so we're looking at just horsepower. I'm telling you, it looks pretty darn close, doesn't it? Let's make a little box here, and oops, that ain't working. Let's oopsie. All right, auto scale. There we go. So there's here's your 800 cam. See an 860 horsepower, 8.25 2100. Go up to your stock cam, 846 to 2100. So the stock cam makes a little more than the 800, starting up at 2150 all the way down to around 19.25. They get pretty close, 987 versus 990, and then they stay pretty close from there on. There's a little dip here. Some of this could just be anomalies within the dyno and the logging, data logging. It's pretty close. There are a couple places like here at 2,081 RPMs, 850 for the marine, 873. So 25 horsepower, 25 horsepower more for the stock cam versus the 800 cam. And let's go to, we'll take the power off and just put torque in. And you can see at 2100, the 800 Marine's making 2,061 foot-pounds. The stock is making 2,116. So, 40 foot-pounds. Again, this is not huge, but it's something. So, let's go down to the bottom here. The stock cam shaft made 1,012 peak, 3,014 peak. The marine cam made 1,008 peak, 3,028. So 14 more foot-pounds, 4 less horsepower. I'll be honest with you, it's almost the same. And I've always speculated that in a diesel truck on highway, it doesn't make any difference what cam you run. I think that's pretty close. Here's your boost. Your 800 made consistently less boost from 2,100 down. Some places it gets really close. Right there's 38.12 versus 38.3. Look at this. This is interesting. At 1862, it crosses over. And from 1862 on down to where I stopped the test at, which I stopped the test at 1,700 because the torque was through the roof, the marine cam was making a little more boost. Here again, we're talking 41.6 versus 41.9. That's basically no difference. So horsepower, boost, almost identical. Now this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Let's look over here. I just pulled in the temperature in the exhaust manifold. The stock camshaft, 1355 degrees at 1900. The 800 cam, 1404. This is pretty consistent. There's a pretty consistent 50 degrees. So the marine cam runs 50 degrees hotter in this particular test. And you can make of that what you want. You look down here at the bottom. I did do this on 2 different days. I did on the 19th of April is when I ran the stock camshaft. It was 71.4 degrees in the shop, 7% humidity, 25.8 inches of mercury. It gave us a 1.028 correction factor. And then on April 22nd, it was 74 degrees and 10% humidity, 25.6 inches of mercury. So that gave us a 1.033. That's an SEA J1349-2004. So that's a recognized correction factor. So does that 74 to 71 degrees play into 50 degrees difference? I don't think so. It is possible. So anyway, just throwing this out here. Yeah, Bill, this, oh, you know what? Let me add this tune here, just something I grabbed and threw in there. This has not been optimized. This has nothing to do with the tune. Yeah, I can make this torque curve anything we want it to be. So we've seen the EGT, we've seen the boost, we've seen the horsepower. We'll go back to the horsepower to close out. So there you go. Well, that's the torque. We can add them both in there. Select visible graphs. We'll put the engine power and the torque in there. And auto scale, and then we'll synchronize. That makes it nice. You can see everything all together. Then I can click on and make the maximums pop up, 3015, 3029. Same with the horsepower, 1008 for the, they're so close they're gonna cover each other up with the little flags. So anyway, so one of the reasons why I did this live is so that I can switch the screen back. I don't understand why when you're doing a record on an iPhone, you can't do a recording and switch back and forth between front-facing and rear-facing camera, but yet if you do Facebook Live or YouTube Live, I can switch back and forth as many times as I want to. So I don't understand it. I still don't know how to make it so my eyes look at the camera. Maybe they are right now, but if I look right here, I can't see my eyes. But if I look here, I can see my eyes, and I can tell that I'm not looking. Anyway, so that's it. You know, my opinions, I'll try to keep them to a minimum. My opinion is, if you have an 800 cam, great. If you have a 5EK or 2WS, 1LW cam, great as well. Whatever cam you own is the cam you should probably run. Now, if you have an ACERT cam, to me, I don't have a strong opinion on whether you should remove an ACERT cam and replace it with an 800 or another cam. I know as for tuning, it does present some problems. The ACERT camshafts have that pilot injection bump in them, and it is hard to sometimes deal with that, but I don't know, it's doable. So bottom line is, whatever cam you own is the cam you should run. Should you go out and buy an 800 cam? You tell me. I don't see any advantage other than you do get a little bit of a cool sounding idle, if that means something to you. So anyway, that's it for the video. A word from our sponsors, and we'll see if I can get this right live. So this 800 camshaft comparison is brought to you by Blame Robert Calixtro. So if you have a blowout in the middle of the winter, if you have a wheel bearing fail, or if your bungee straps on your tarp blow off and you lose a $1,000 tarp, blame Robert Calixtro. If your Caterpillar or your ISX pitches a rod out the side of the block, spins a main bearing, or just develops a main seal leak, blame Robert Calixtro. If your cylinder head drops a valve, if an injector fails, if you drop a valve seat, blame Robert Calixtro. Because Robert Calixtro is a man with broad shoulders. and he can take it. And Robert Calixtro may look like a jolly fellow who's always happy and never lets the world get him down. He may look like that on the outside, but deep down, he just wants another edible. Now, all seriousness, Robert did provide this camshaft for this comparison, so I do want to thank him. So, all right, well, hopefully this wasn't too bad of a live shot. And if I can figure out how to stop it without making it go all goofy, I'm going to. So here we go. Y'all take care. Hope you enjoyed this comparison.